Hello, everyone. My name is Bryant. Today, I got an email from the college success team at the Sunnyside Community Service. Sis. I used to go to the Sunnyside Community Services when I was in high school, and then went off to college. Went to the City College of New York. Graduated with a degree in economics. Took a lot longer than I'd hoped, but hopefully, I can give some guidance and real world experience to everyone watching. And this is predominantly for the class of May 2020. Let's see, for your guidance tips. Do you have any tips on surviving and thriving in undergraduate life? Do a quick 3 to 5 minute video. All right, this video is going to definitely be a lot longer, and COVID 19 is definitely screwing things up a bit. First and foremost, I would like to say that you don't want to survive college. You want to thrive in college. I feel like the term survival is the key to mediocrity. For some guidance, here's some topics you can explore. Housing and roommates. I lived at home, saved the rent. So that's what I could do. But obviously, if you go to a different school, experience will be different. Try to give a in-person experience rather than something arbitrary to you guys. So I can't help with that. Dealing with professors. Professors are human. They have a life outside too, and not long ago they were just adults. Like, people forget that they were once younger and they have their own lives and they're human. Um, I would recommend just being respectful and asking them exactly what you need and being direct, so this way they can give you the best possible guidance. And use their office hours or ask them after class. Choosing a major. I went through probably like 3 majors. Um, I would recommend choosing a major not because your mom, dad, uncle, auntie, grandma, grandpa, he said, she said, be a doctor, be a lawyer stereotype. I would recommend choosing a major, and I want it, and I would recommend doing this very, very quickly, by the way, like as soon as possible. Um, that you find purpose in, that you can live with accomplishing. Um, don't choose a major just because of this arbitrary idea of, I'm going to be choosing an engineering major and then I'll be an engineer, although they make a lot of money and a lot of my friends are happy with it. Actually, probably should have gone into engineering. Um, but don't choose a major that you're going to not be able to live with and regret. And don't take the pressure on yourself. Everyone's doing this together. Not everyone knows what they're doing. And at the end of the day, the person you have to live with your decision is you. Academic life. Uh, School values you getting in there, doing well on exams, and getting good grades, right? Then life is not really like this. Um, you academic life. Find out what courses you have to take, what your goals are, and then do well in those courses, because you'd rather be the person that sees an advisor with like a nice GPA and they'll go, oh, and then they'll help boost you and give you opportunities. Doors open up when you aim higher, and if you don't do well as well, it's almost as that's the culture. Like, you're not great. Like, if you ever go to an advisor when you're on probation, it's not fun. Time management. Value yourself and value your time. Value yourself as in you're there for a purpose. Your purpose is to get a degree or whatever the case is. Make yourself the priority. Don't, and then things seem to fall better into place. Like, remove distractions. If you have to, for every 1 class hour, you have to study like 3 or something like that. Make studying for yourself the priority. Again, everyone's different, so my advice might not be applicable to everyone across the board. Merely just individual experience. Identity politics, race, ethnicity, class, gender, sexuality, religion. You can't really comment on this one too much. Uh, Born and raised in an Asian American household, they had their own standards. Just know that not everyone's superhuman. Everyone's going through a lot of what they're going through. Not everyone always has the answers. Have some self worth, I would say, in yourself as a human being, and do what's best for you and or society. Mental and physical health. What really helped me was going to the college gym with a bunch of friends that I made there. Um, Motivation when you're all in the same like boat and need. Mental and physical health. It's career and internship prep. I have a different philosophy on this. I don't want to go to college, you know, just to go through the mediocrity of okay, then I'm just going to be an employee for the rest of my life. So, or then I'm going to intern in a company, and then one day I'll be a senior at a company, and like when I'm 65, and then retire, and then that's it. Um, Career and internship advice: do what you want that also keeps you financially alive. That's probably the short and sweet. Um, Getting jobs on campus and work study. Make friends, make friends, make friends, make friends. I had a friend that had a that knew about a job position in the tech center, and I think I skipped the whole resume, and my interview was just like 30 seconds of oh yeah, this person referred you, and then I got in. So making friends and networking is important. Dealing with financial aid, good luck with that. Honestly, it's like it took like 5 years of wait, like 5 years. Wow, it did feel like 5 years. 5 hours of waiting for someone to tell you, hey, you need other stuff too. Financial aid is a whole level of bureaucracy and nonsense that I don't wish this upon anyone, but you just have to do it. Self discipline, rely on yourself to get what needs to be done, and have a lot of tenacity. Withdrawing a medical leave. If you have to withdraw for whatever reason in medical leave, take it as a step back, recharge yourself, and then get back out there. Um, Give yourself that moment to breathe. Take one step back, two steps forward. Clubs and extracurriculars. Join things that you love, right? If you like video game club, I wish I spent more time with the video game club or whatever, because it's a form of networking as well. And you see that everyone, even if they're like whatever major they are, they all have same interests as you. They're all human. It helps you have that sense of it's not as big and scary as you think it is. Graduating on time, I'm a terrible person to ask for that. But I will say that if you decide your major earlier and then you go on that path, so like let's say you start as a physics major, they have a whole different set of requirements. And then after doing being a physics major for 3 years, you're like, okay, I'm not gonna do this. Then you go into econ. Then you realize not only do I have to take econ 101, 102, 3, 4, 5, 6 in sequence because every class is back to back, and then not only that, then you realize that you have to have a language requirement because that wasn't in science. Then you have to take 4 semesters of French, like French 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're like, next thing you know, you're starting a 4 year process all over again. So graduating on time for me means as soon as you humanly can possibly get down to major and go through that pipeline and go through that criteria, you'll graduate on time ish. Like don't put so much pressure on this just because it's like 4 years. No, no, no. Do what's best for you and live your life. If it takes you 5 years, it takes you 5 years. If it takes you eight, it takes you eight. In the grand scheme of things, I figure why like people go to college because they want to graduate, right? At the end of the day, if they graduate, then good for you. Making friends. I came from a small high school where my graduating class was probably like 48 kids. I didn't know anyone at City College. I literally went into City College and I went to the basement of the City College library and I went, "Hi, my name is Brian. I really don't know anyone here. Will you be my friends?" And then that's how I made friends. Literally, I walked up to random people. I didn't know anything about them. They seemed to be students there. "Hi, my name's Brian," and just that honesty opened me up to a lot of friendships that I have now. For that reason, it's scary as all hell, and it certainly terrified the crap out of me. Um, Balancing social life and boundaries. Again, personal requirements for yourself, right? Do you need time to study? Then you have to learn how to say no to social obligations because you have to study because those social obligations and friends might be fleeting, and your future is you have to take this exam or whatever and then graduate, get a good GPA, and then you'll do well. Uh, Homesickness and family. I lived at home, so I didn't really feel that. Visiting professors' office hours. I recommend doing this if you need to because they can offer some guidance outside of class that you can discuss like privately or whatever. Coagulated writing and professionalism can help you there. Academic honesty. I believe very strongly in the concept of academic honesty because first and foremost, like there's the selfish perspective of all right, I'm gonna take 3 years, then I'm gonna cheat on this paper and then kicked out, then you just wasted 3 years of your life and all this money, right? What was the point? And then at the same time, you don't want someone that cheated their way till medical school, doesn't know what they're doing, and then is operating on you. So for the good of yourself and the good of society, honesty is very important. Like, don't cheat because then you don't learn anything, right? So then what's the point? You could be an engineer cheating yourself all the way from undergrad to all of a sudden you're in your senior class and you have no way to do this exam because you actually didn't learn anything, right? So then what was the point? Then at some point, it might be the case that the bill comes due. It might be the case that it doesn't, but if the bill comes due, then what do you do? Tutoring and academic advisement, very important. Separate tutoring, like the people tutoring they tutor you in the classes you need. On top of which they can actually offer you advice and help you because hopefully the people that are tutoring you are capable people and qualified, and then they can offer you more than just tutoring you. Academic advisements, go to the right people for academic advisement. When I went to City College, they had some junior or senior um, put me in classes and they didn't know what they were doing and they were just doing it for like 15, 16 an hour and they were definitely not qualified, and it's like, oh my god, all of a sudden I'm in something called gateway and I'm trapped because these people are not qualified to advise you in science, right? So go for the people that are qualified, the dean, the chairman, the senior advisors, actual people. Like sign up for the major and have actual people that are qualified, and you'll learn this, right? 20 people, 18 people have egos. Go for the top two that actually can and know and will actually help you. So that's so important. Learn this early. A lot of people will give you nonsense advice and it will be detrimental because they're functioning on ego rather than their actual capability of helping you. So learn this distinction early. Can't stress that enough. Seeking consultation from Peter Wilson, advisors, and formal students. Uh, Peter's a good guy. I wouldn't be making this video if I didn't care about this guy. Because he's honest. He sort of started as college is a business, and think about it that way. But what he should have also mentioned is that colleges don't really care about you. You like it's a selling point. Like the administration couldn't be more filled with people that are just doing the jobs just to get by and incompetent or for whatever reason they're there. I don't know how they can get their job. Like how can you get your job and hate talking to students that are at your mercy at the registration's office or at your mercy at the registrar's office, and you're like, what? And then I'm like, mind blowing. They're gonna throw you around like 5 different departments. That's why I'm saying skip the 5 department nonsense. Go for the as high as you can go, and go from there. Um, from advisors, again, advisors like high up. Like my engineering friends had personal advisors, and it's so different from a general advisor from like an undeclared undergrad, right? The difference is night and day. Go high up. Go get advisors from high up people that know exactly what they're doing, and not just people that are there because they just magically got the job and now they're coasting on life. Like, learn that distinction. Network with as many people as you can, and see how successful and what they're doing, and if they're doing what you're doing, they can bridge that distance and gap for you. Former students, yeah, former students. Every student should learn to rely on yourself. Learn to be confident in yourself and not think that college is there to hold your hand and hand everything to you and baby you like your mom and dad or parents or high school teachers. It's a very adult world, as in you have to do it yourself. You have to drive your own car. I regret not. Honestly, I regret not making this decision not to go to college. I became in college because, wow, I learned I really didn't like college. I became, afterwards, when I was doing it, I ended up going into hospitality. I became a food runner, then I was a waiter, bartender, manager. like nothing to do with my econ major. So what I did there doesn't necessarily translate to what I'm doing in the future. But again, I don't want anyone to use my advice as the if all end all. Everyone's situation is different. Everyone's purpose is different. Like if you are going to college because you want to be a researcher or a professor, like my brother went to Macaulay for chemistry, then he went to Johns Hopkins, he's doing a PhD. Really, he's the kind of person you should be asking advice from, not from me about that. Um, because he followed, follow what your purpose and what your desires are. Because ultimately you live with your own choices and your own decisions. Anyway, best of luck. Let me know if you have any more questions.